SVP Surplus People Project, we're a land organization. We assist people in getting land restituted and support with productions, technical skills and so on. I am a researcher at SPP, and through SPP we do a lot of work with Slow Food International, and so we coordinate the 10,000 Gardens project, and that's one of the things that I do. So my involvement at the farm here is purely support, and sometimes we give plants, so I give if I have plants to share. But the guys are one of the gardens that are under the Slow Food 10,000 Gardens in Africa project, which highlights a lot of gardens that are around good, clean and fair food. So it's very important that no chemicals are used. As an example, and that there are indigenous crops here and there, but the biggest thing is that it's part of a community. Very luckily I get to not only come to an amazing space like this within the city, but travel up and down the west coast and go all the way up to the Orange River and speak to the people whose life this is. I mean, my dream job, I will always joke, is to be a farmer, and so now I'm a kind of farmer and I'm doing all these other things, but to be in a place and to see the place grow and change along the years and seasons and everything else that comes to live in that same space, it's fascinating for me. And then this is one of my favorites. This is Tilbachia, the Wilnenknoffel, the wild garlic, and it's this plant that started my fascination and deep interest and curiosity into indigenous food. This is one of the most used landscaping plants that we have because it flowers for most of the year. It's an easy plant, it doesn't get very scraggly, but you can eat it and it's delicious. And a lot of people, it has a much more kind of smoky garlic taste. You can eat the whole plant. It's good to roast with meats. You can put it in breads and it turns very nice and crispy as you roast it, and you can potjie it, all the rest of it, the entire plant, even the flowers. So pretty, yeah. The strongest thing about me is my family and the influence they've had on me and how we were raised. And being a daughter, I'm also female, and it's one of the things that we learn a lot about, especially through agriculture, is the role of women in feeding the whole world. And for me, the older I get, the more powerful an aspect of my life it is, and how you begin to understand.
Yeah.
And you just sprinkle them down.
Yeah, like 5, not all of them.
No,
Take them away.
no. You're precious. So you enjoy doing this.
When they come up, then your whole life changes.
There's a certain humility that once you start thinking in this sense, or thinking about how many different species there are and how much biodiversity there is, and especially in a space like the Cape, which is so biodiverse and so unique, you begin to, yourself, you begin to become a lot more grounded and a lot more, at ease with how life turns, and you have a better understanding, and so it becomes a much more spiritual thing. It's not really time consuming if it's your lifestyle. I find that I actually have more time now, and I don't have to go into the mall, I don't have to spend time doing those other things. And the biggest thing about it is that I'm saving so much money, where I would have been spending money on those things, now I don't need to. And on top of all of it, the health factor personally, but also for the environment, is much better. And now I can't complain. I don't sickle, I don't suffer from sinus issues, I don't get the flu as often as I used to. I haven't been sick in a long time, and I have more energy, and I'm breathing clearer, and my hair is thicker, and all these things that for me is proof. And so at the end of the day, I think it's basically about having an ease of conscience. I'm very happy.